This video is sponsored by Bandwork. Check out the link in the description to browse Bandwork's high-quality leather Apple Watch bands. Hey, what's going on everyone? Greg here, and the Apple Watch Series 5 is here. I got it right in this box. I got the brand new titanium finish, which is now available for the first time on an Apple Watch. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing, and then I will give you some of my first impressions of the Apple Watch Series 5 in titanium. And of course, as you can see, we obviously have the Apple Watch box. Let's go ahead and just peel off this plastic. Okay, now this is really cool. Last year with my aluminum version, it was very colorful on the inside of the box. I'm not sure if this is exclusive to the titanium, but it looks like you're kind of getting a titanium coating on the inside of the packaging. That is really cool attention to detail. As you can see, here is the sport loop that was in my order. So it actually comes in a separate box. Now, one of the cool things about the titanium Apple Watch is that it actually includes an extra band inside of this box. So let's go ahead and open it. Okay. You can see we have the design by Apple in California. Inside of here, we have the Watch Edition branding, of course. Now, the titanium version is part of that Apple Watch Edition. And if you open that up, of course, you can see some of the instructions for setting up your Apple Watch and then what the certain buttons do. Inside of here, you'll find the second band that we were talking about before. So this is an exclusive band that comes with the titanium version of the Apple Watch. And you can see here, I believe the pin on the bottom here looks like it should be color matching for the titanium. Of course, we also have our Apple Watch charger. Now, this is going to have that stainless steel backing rather than just the plastic backing that you would find on the aluminum Apple Watch chargers. And of course, we have our standard Apple 5-watt charging brick. I guess no one's really complaining about fast chargers on the Apple Watch yet. Okay, and now the main attraction, of course, is this watch, the titanium Apple Watch. It comes in a nice little protective kind of sock. Let's go ahead and slide that out. And after we take it out of that sock, here we have the titanium Apple Watch in all of its glory. It definitely looks a lot better to me in person than it did online. There's definitely a little bit more shine to it than those online photos would have you believe, where they look very, very matte. Now, this is more matte finish than, say, the stainless steel, but again, there is a nice shine to it in person when you're seeing the light reflect off of it that you just can't really see from those online photos. Okay, so I stepped away from the camera a little bit to set up the Series 5 Apple Watch so you didn't have to watch that boring pairing process. And now I have the titanium Series 5 and I've been wearing it for a little bit and I have some initial impressions with this device. Now, the first thing I want to mention, of course, is that brand new titanium finish. So one of the first things I wanted to check is if that watch band that came with the titanium Apple Watch had a color matching pin. And for my eyes, it does look like that is indeed a color matching titanium pin on the sport band with the Apple Watch. Again, this is a special light gray sport band that comes included with the titanium version of the Apple Watch. So when you buy a titanium Apple Watch, you actually get two bands included. And you can kind of see how the titanium Apple Watch looks on my wrist with that included sport band. And I gotta say, it is a very nice looking watch. You can also start to see a hint of the always on display that's on the new Series 5 Apple Watch, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, I'm sure one of the first questions people are going to have about this titanium finish is how does it look? And I hope the video is doing it justice because Apple's own online images don't really do a good job showing off the titanium finish. Now, the titanium finish on Apple's website looks really matte. It almost looks exactly like the aluminum version of the Apple Watch. And by looking at both finishes in person, you can see that they do look quite different. One of the things that's really hard to show off in the photos with the Series 5 titanium Apple Watch is how it reacts to light. And as you can see in this video, it has a quite different shine as you're looking at it versus the aluminum Series 5 Apple Watch. Now, I've been wearing the Series 5 Apple Watch for about a day now, and the finish on it just does look really nice. I keep glancing at my watch, and I really do appreciate just how nice it looks. Now, one of the benefits with using titanium as a material for the Apple Watch is that it's lighter than the stainless steel version. If you've ever worn a stainless steel Apple Watch and an aluminum Apple Watch, you would notice that there is more weight to that stainless steel version, whereas the titanium kind of falls in between the weight of the aluminum and the stainless steel, and it's much more noticeably light on your wrist than the stainless steel version. Another thing to note about the titanium version is that it does have the sapphire crystal display on here, which should be more scratch resistant than the Ion X glass that's found on the aluminum Apple Watches. As someone who has always bought the aluminum version of the Apple Watch, I can definitely say that the titanium version of the Apple Watch looks really nice in comparison. It definitely has a more premium feel and look to it, although that does come at a price increase. So the titanium version for the 44mm, which is the one I'm wearing, is $850. If you're getting the 40 millimeter, it's $800. If you were to go with the aluminum version of the Apple Watch, that starts around $500. And if you were to get the stainless steel version of this Apple Watch, it would be $750, so it's a $100 increase for the titanium version. Now, I'm sure one of the biggest questions people are gonna have to me regarding the titanium is if it's more durable and scratch resistant than the stainless steel version. And unfortunately, I've only been wearing this Apple Watch for about half a day now, so I'm gonna need to spend a lot more time with it before I can comment on this finish and just how durable it is. But rest assured, I will definitely update you in a future video about the durability of the titanium Apple Watch over a longer period of time. And even though this sport band is nice, a nice titanium Apple Watch made of this premium material deserves a band that is equally as premium, which brings us to our sponsor for this video, Brandwork. Brandwork actually sent a bunch of different high quality leather straps for me to unbox and test out here with my brand new titanium Apple Watch. So let's take a look at them. Even the packaging has workmanship, a wooden box surrounded by banana paper and a cord, and each strap is in its own cotton bag. And just look at this band, high quality leather from Italy, and then it's actually hand stitched in Germany. That's some serious workmanship. One of the things I love about Brandwork straps is the matching color lug on each strap. So even if you have an aluminum Apple Watch, you can actually get a matching strap to go along with it. One of the hardest parts about owning an aluminum watch is dealing with those mismatched straps, and with Brandwork, no matter what kind of Apple Watch you have, you can choose a matching lug to go along with it. And just look how well the lugs match with the silver aluminum Apple Watch. It is a perfect match. The Brandwork bands even include a matching clasp depending on the finish of your Apple Watch. And Brandwork has 4 collections: Paris for thinner leather, Stockholm for vintage leather, Berlin for calf or Russian leather, and Zurich for exotic leather. Brandwork will even do individual customized engraving or hot stamping, so you can give this away as a perfect gift to any Apple Watch owner. Also, if you purchase the Zurich collection from Brandwork, you get a free Melanie strap included. And just look how stunning the Brandwork band looks with the always-on face of the Titanium Series 5 Apple Watch. It is such a good look. And you can find all of these amazing Apple Watch bands in the link in the description, and thank you so much to Brandwork for sponsoring this video. Okay, besides from the new titanium finish, probably the biggest standout feature for the Apple Watch Series 5 is the brand new always on display. Now, if you're watching this video, this is currently in the always on display mode. I actually don't have the Apple Watch activated. If you notice, I'm gonna activate it right now. You'll see that the Apple Watch wakes up with the full display. When it's in that always on mode, it is in a dimmer state than usual. So if you go ahead and cover that, you can dim the display again. This is the always on mode, so whenever you're wearing the Apple Watch, it doesn't turn off. And this always on display works no matter what Apple Watch face you're using. As you can see, we're scrolling through a few different Apple Watch faces, and each version of these faces has an always on display mode. Now, one of the things I like about Apple's always on display is that you can still see the complications even though the screen gets dimmer, and you can still see the color inside of the watch face. So you can still see things like the weather complication, you can still see your activity complication, your reminders, and you can even see important things like the date. Now, the time, you can still see the minutes and hours hand, and if you have the digital time, you can still see that. Now, you won't be able to see the individual seconds hand, and that's because the Apple Watch's always on display only refreshes at 1 hertz, and then if you wake it up, you can see the seconds hand again, and that's because it's refreshing at the full 60 hertz. And even just using this for a day, the always on display has kind of changed the way I've used my Apple Watch. So previously, for example, say I was talking to someone, I would always have to do that little flick raise to see the time on my Apple Watch. Now with the always on display, I don't have to do that anymore. I could just kind of glance at my Apple Watch and then see the time, and I don't always have to do that flick raise to see the time. I also think the always on display does make the Apple Watch look better to anyone else who's looking at you. So before, if they were looking at your Apple Watch, they would just see a black square, and now they can actually see the individual watch faces that you choose, so that will give you a little bit more style and a little bit more personality when wearing your watch. Now, even though I do like the always on display, one of the things I'm going to have to test in my full review is to see if the always on display does impact battery life in some way. Now, there's 2 other new features with the Apple Watch Series 5 that are pretty quick to mention. The first one is that you can now make international emergency calling. I don't really travel that much, and I also don't want to contact emergency services, so I don't really know how I would test this feature out. But apparently, if you have the cellular version of this watch, if you're traveling in another country, you can make an emergency SOS call. The other new feature is the addition of a compass inside of the Apple Watch. And now if you rotate the Apple Watch, you can actually see that we are changing the position. So right now we are looking at southwest, and then if we turn it, we can see that we're looking at west. Now, one of the things about this compass is that you have to watch out which bands you're wearing. If you're wearing a magnetic band, that can interfere with the accuracy of the compass. I'm also not sure if this is a feature that most people are ever going to really use, but I do want to give it a fair shake and see if it actually is useful in my day-to-day life of wearing the Apple Watch Series 5. Now, those are the major upgrades to the Series 5 Apple Watch. There is one other upgrade I didn't mention in this video, and that is that the Series 5 Apple Watch does get 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, where the Series 4 only maxed out at 16 gigabytes of onboard storage. But other than that, the display, the design, the chip inside of this, the processor, is pretty much the same as the Series 4. However, I still want to spend some more time with the Series 5 Apple Watch before I give my full review, just to see how the always-on display impacts my use case of the Apple Watch, and to see if those other features like the compass make any sort of difference. And that's going to do it for this video on the Apple Watch Series 5. Be sure to let me know what you think of the Apple Watch Series 5 in the comments below. What do you think of the new titanium finish? And do you plan on upgrading for that always-on display? Also, be sure to check out our sponsor for this video, Bandwork, in the link in the description. As always, if you like the video, make sure you give me a like. If you want to see more from my channel, make sure you're subscribed. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.